It was good. I see some of the same issues that I faced in Oakland as mayor, and that is developing the urban core to prevent sprawl, to bring revitalization to places that have been somewhat desolate over the decades. It's always a tough endeavor because you have a lot of resistance, and I share a lot in common with the mayor, and I'm going to be as helpful as I can in the governor's office in seeing Fresno and the whole valley get the kind of things and kind of decisions made that they need. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm listening, and I know a lot more when I come back this afternoon.
Governor, the LA Times wrote over the weekend that you were planning to unveil a jobs plan this week. I know you announced
appoint a jobs, a senior advisor for jobs, and I just put that out this morning.
Do you have a plan as well?
Sure we do.
What is it?
Well, I don't want to preempt my conversations with the speaker and the pro tem. I'm meeting with them tomorrow morning. And we have a series of things that we're doing. You know, you've heard me before, and we'll talk about some today, and some as we go through the weeks, because some are bills, and some are actions, and some are proposals.
Governor, can we talk a little bit about the early release program?
Yes.
For the prisoners?
Yes.
Talk about that if you can. I guess, you know.
Well, we're under court order to reduce the prisons by 40,000 inmates. And we also find at the same time that a lot of local people are being sent to prison and then being released in 90 days on parole violations. Those people should stay in the community. There should be adequate facilities, funding, and other kinds of supervision so that people who live in the community, who go back to the community, can be handled locally. And that's the whole point of realignment. It's not something that's perfectly finished. It's a work in progress, and I'm here to talk to law enforcement and probation people to find out what kinds of changes or modifications we need to make. But we are under court order from the Supreme Court itself to reduce by 40,000 in 2 years. So we want to do that in a way that, number one, protects public safety.
And I understand we're going to fall short of that.
We will. It's going to take longer, and it should take longer. And we may go back to court and say, maybe we can't do all that, but we can do the best we can, protecting public safety and equipping individuals to live better in the community. Because remember, 120,000 people go into prison every year, 120,000 come out. It's a moving river of despair in many ways. And so we want to equip people with job skills, get them working in prison, and getting them working locally under probation or under jail or in other programs like AA and other drug court and other ways to control all these problems connected with criminality.
How do we do that with no money?
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's the vote. We tried to get $11 billion, and the Republicans in Sacramento said California should lose the $11 billion from the sales of the income of the VLF. So we don't have that $11 billion. We would have had it, but those taxes expired, and now we have to allocate the less. And it's a very painful process, but the state does not have a printing press like the federal government. So where we have to, we will make cuts. And there will be billions of dollars of less public service than would have been had the Republicans given us the 4 votes we needed to let the people decide whether they wanted to extend the taxes they were paying or engage in a prolonged retrenchment of public service, which is where we are now.
With the lower than expected tax revenues, do you suspect trigger cuts will be necessary?
Can't tell yet, but we're in place to have a very solid budget. And California has been moved by Standard & Poor's from negative to stable, and that stability is a mark of the power of the budget that I signed. At the same time, the federal government has been downgraded. California has received favorable marks. And this year, in our short-term borrowing, we only need half of what we needed just 12 months ago. So we're making progress, but have no mistake about it. When the Republicans said the people cannot be permitted to vote on whether they want to keep the $11 billion in our state budgets or not, the consequences have to flow to the Veterans Home, to schools, to Fresno State in the form of higher fees. These are all the direct consequences of the decision by the Republicans to allocate back into the private sector monies that went to the Veterans Home in Fresno State and police and prisons and all the rest. We have to live within our means. I'm going to tell you the truth, no smoke and mirrors, and it's going to be very difficult and it's going to be painful, and we're not going to get out of it in a week or a month or even a year. But we will act decisively, we'll act collaboratively, and we'll act in a way that's honest and transparent.
Dennis, we'll let you have the last question,
What?
because we're going to have to go to the...
We're going to have a whole speech. I'm going to unveil a whole bunch of...
You're allowed to come to the
Yes, we'll
Okay, go ahead.
be there. But just again,
Sure.
when it comes to public safety and realignment,
Yes.
you talked about what a challenge it is. There is no money.
Well, we're
Your
putting a lot of
message
money.
to California is
No,
about public safety.
no, we're putting hundreds of millions of dollars into local government for the purposes of realignment. Remember, when someone burglarizes a house or assaults somebody or robs, they do it on a particular street. They're in a community. And the best way to deal with them is close to that community because they're going to come back anyway. So the more violent, the sexual predators, no, we're keeping them in state prison. But if it's a lesser offender, we want that person, to the extent we can, to be handled at the local level. And we are prepared to spend hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars to help local communities do that. Is it enough? Well, we're going to find out. And if it's not enough, we'll go back to the Republicans and try to get their permission to let the people vote for more money. If they refuse that, then we're going to have to deal with it. So that's the difficulty. There's a decision to take all this money from local government. So we're living with those consequences, and we'll do it in the most reasonable and fair way that we can.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, good.